Hi everyone, this is a quick update on where we are with the Q-Learning Survey project, what happened in today's meeting, how we are going to coordinate during the next few weeks, and also what are the next long-term project might look like after the survey becomes stable. And the short version is the project is very much alive and is not dead, it was just buffering. And today's meeting was very productive, and Charles showed his categorization of the original Q-learning and deep Q-learning methods from my first draft. That is important because we do not want to lose the useful traditional method material from the original survey. Hamna completed section 5a, which is a big milestone because the benchmark comparability section was one of the most important missing pieces. Logan will work on trimming his long continuous control memo into something that can actually fit into the paper. I'll also mention that a larger verification update is coming. So overall, we are moving from scattered pieces into real section ownership. And for Charles' part, the focus is the traditional Q-learning and deep Q-learning material from the original draft. The goal is not to create a completely separate new document. The goal is to revise and extend the existing Markdown file so that the original useful content fits into the current TAI structure. This mainly means preserving the traditional Q-learning coverage, but connecting it more clearly to the 8-axis framework. So Charles' role is important because the paper should not become only a modern method survey. It still needs a strong foundation. And Hamna completed section 5a, which is very important for the benchmark part of the paper. The core argument is that reporting results on the same benchmark does not automatically mean the results are directly comparable. We need to know what is evaluated, what under what protocol, and what comparison is actually fair. That is what the formula here is. Coverage heat map plus protocol metadata plus verdict table equals the section 5a argument. The heat map tells us coverage, the protocol metadata tells us experimental conditions, the verdict table tells us what comparison we can responsibly make. And Logan's continuous control memo is very strong, but it's too detailed to paste directly into the survey. So the next step is compression. The goal is to turn the long markdown memo into a survey-ready section. The target is a core framing around the continuous action argmax problem and critic stabilization, plus a compact taxonomy table, short summarization of each family, and a brief open problems paragraph. So we should treat the current file as a technical source memo and not a final paper text. And upset, a larger verification update is coming, and this is good because verification is now one of the central pieces of the revision. The important thing is that verification is not only citation lookup, some claims are structural claims about a paper's argument. For example, whether the rainbow method belongs across 5-axis, whether agent 57 is really the paradigm for one of the weaknesses, or whether distribution IL should be framed under a credit assignment. And this is why we use three labels. X means verified, a tilde means tentatively checked but subject to reorganization or debate, and finally, empty means unresolved. This lets us move forward without pretending every elegant sentence is already final. And my part is to integrate the modern Q-learning families from the Google Doc into the current Markdown draft, and the main goal is to revise and extend the existing Markdown files rather than creating a separate standalone section. And starting next week, we'll switch into a synchronous mode for a few weeks. The reason is practical. I will be at Fan Expo next week, and I will be traveling in Europe from September 4th to September 12th. During that period, we should not pause the project. Instead, everyone should continue pushing concrete Markdown edits, section draft verification notes, and citation updates. The keyword is concrete. Notes are useful, but Markdown edits are much easier to integrate. Regular week meetings will resume on September 19th. And after survey stabilizes and finishes, there is a possible next long-term project. T is in China and will be there for education camp for about a year. Since the 30-paper AI reading project has not started yet, we probably should not wait a whole year, otherwise the project will lose momentum. And the idea is to take it over after survey is in a stable state. Importantly, this project will stay free at the beginning, and it should be a community learning project, not a paid bootcamp from day one. And the format would be 30 papers with 2 sessions per paper. The first session is the reading and concept session. In that session, we explain the motivation, the core idea, the historical importance, the key equations of figures, and discussion questions. The second session is the coding or implementation session. In that session, we walk through a minimum implementation, code structure, a small demo or reproduction, and connect the paper to modern AI systems. This makes the project much stronger than just reading papers. Students actually understand and build something. And why free? The reason to keep it free for all of the session is that we need to build trust and community. A free project can produce notes, code, videos, and GitHub artifacts. It can also help students build serious paper reading habits without feeling like they're buying a course. Later, after the whole project ends and proves itself, there may be room for paid structured programs. But the paid version should not just be the same reading group with a price tag. It should provide extra structure, mentorship, feedback, or project outcomes. So the order would be free community for the whole project, paid structured programs later. And the roadmap is quite clear. First, finish the TAI Q-Learning survey revision. Second, stabilize the Markdown sections and the claims verification ledger. Third, prepare marketing materials for the free study paper project. Fourth, recruit participants. Fifth, launch the 60-session reading and coding program. Finally, after the project proves itself, we can consider a paid structure program. So the order is survey first, community next, products later. And overall, I think we're on track. The survey is becoming real. The team now has clear section ownership. The verification work is catching over claims, and the next project has a direction. But it will wait until the survey is finished. So the final status is controlled chaos, now with Git commits. And thank you for listening.